right. What's up, YouTube? This is Take Five Podcast. I'm Aaron Action.
I'm Chuck's Nasty.
I'm Dustin.
And I'm Rosie.
Today's topic is top 5 50s songs. Hi, Rosie. What you got for number 5?
So number 5, I went with Earth Angel.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right, Dustin. What you have for number 5?
Number 5, I think you're going to have, or at least you're going to have, as an honorable mention, I Put a Spell on You, Screaming Jay Hawkins.
Yeah, for sure. That's my boy, man.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, Trex. What you have for number 5?
All right. My opening statement is growing up on Saturday mornings when I hung out with my friend. His dad would always put 50 records on, so I learned a lot from what I like from his choice. So Chuck Berry, Maybelline.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong with
I could
Chuck
put
Berry.
all of Chuck Berry on this list.
That's
Yeah. All right. If it wasn't for these artists, we wouldn't have the bands that we normally talk about on this show. This is where it all started. My number 5, Bo Diddley by Bo Diddley. It topped the Billboard charts in 1955.
That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Fucking real good pick.
Yeah, I love some Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
All right, Rosie, what you got for number 4?
So for number 4, I have Walking After Midnight.
Good one. What year did that come out?
54, maybe.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she has a few good ones. All right, Dustin, what you have for number 4?
Number 4, I knew this song was not an original of the band that I always know it from, but I didn't know it was this. Train Kept a Rollin', Johnny Burnett Trio. And we all know it as probably the Aerosmith song.
Yeah.
Train Kept a Rollin'.
See, I knew it was a cover, but I didn't know who the original was.
Right, me too. Yep.
All right, Trex, what you have for number 4?
All right. Number 4, Buddy Holly and the Crickets. That'll be the day.
Yeah.
That was almost mine.
Well, I had another choice of song from him, but I picked that one.
That was actually, he was going to be my number 4, so I'm going to switch it out. Here's one that Rosie might like. Mama, He Treats Your Daughter Mean, Ruth Brown. Do you know that song?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Number 1 on the Billboard R&B charts in 1952. It's the jam. All right, Rosie, what's that for number 3?
Aaron, I think you're starting to get my musical preferences. So now I'm gonna go with All I Have to Do Is Dream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is a good one. All right, Dustin, what's you have for number 3?
Well, I think you've all heard me bring up this guy before in some past episodes. Eddie Cochran, the song Something Else. I heard that about a year ago. A few bands like UFO and one other band who I can't remember does another Eddie Cochran song called Come On Everybody, which I like. And we all know Summertime Blues, that's Eddie Cochran.
Mhm.
But I really like this Something Else song, Eddie Cochran's also. Check it out. It's fat for a 50s song.
Mhm.
The drums are crazy, so different. I think the drums are so different than any other song, like rock and roll song.
Right on. All right, Trex, what'd you have for number 3?
All right. I know you at least got one of their songs on your list. Little Richard, Good Golly, Miss Molly.
Fucker.
Honorable
Yeah, you
mention.
taking all my picks. Yeah.
I had that as an honorable mention for sure.
Yeah.
And specifically that song.
I didn't have that song, but yeah, I definitely have him on my list. All right.
I knew you
My-
would, because we
yeah.
talk about him all the time.
Yeah. My number 3, Mess Around, Ray Charles, 1953.
Yeah.
Another one I knew you'd have on your list is Ray
Yeah.
Charles.
Yeah. Yeah, you know my shit. I love 50s, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's a good pick.
All right, Rosie, with Jeff for number 2.
For number 2, I'm gonna go with Only You.
Who sings that?
Platters?
But yeah, Platters.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Sounds right.
All right, Dustin, with Jeff for number 2.
All right, number 2, man. This is we already just kind of said it. This got narrowed down to. So for me, 50s rock and roll was guitar players or piano players.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we all just brought up Little Richard. This was a tough decision, but my number 2 went to Jerry Lee Lewis. Whole Lot of Shaking.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah.
I got one of his songs in my number 2.
All right, Trex. Well, what is it? Number 2.
Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire.
Yep.
That's
There
a
you,
classic.
there you go.
Right on. All right, my
Tequila.
number 2. Yeah, you mentioned the guitar and piano. Well, my list, you'll kind of know which ones I like. My number 2, All Around the World, Little Richard, 1956.
What are you doing, bud?
Taking mine off.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, man, the number 2, it was Little Richard or Jerry Lee for me, man.
Yeah, I'm a big Little Richard fan, though, man. Like,
The
I get
original
it.
metal singer.
I had a
Top
bunch I could
Jerry
have
Lee
had.
Lewis' top 3 hits.
Hmm?
Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis from Apple Music.
What say, Rosie?
Nothing.
Oh, well, tell us your number 1 then.
Mute it.
She got it muted?
Yeah.
Dustin, mess me up.
Oh, come on now.
It's blurry. He took your number 1.
He took my number 1.
You know we can't read that.
I know.
What was it, Jerry Lee Lewis?
Well, yeah, it was Jerry Lee Lewis, but it was a whole lot of shaking. So I was gonna be silly and tell Alexa to tell me his top 3 hits. But
Oh, that would I heard the top 3 hits, but thing is did he have 3? I only know of those 2.
Yeah.
no, he had a ton of hits. I love Jerry Lee.
But those are clearly the 2 that everyone is gonna fucking
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like with Jerry Lee. I'm kind of the same as what I said with. Go close that door. Same as kind of what I said with Elvis. It's that whole I'm stuck between his personal life and his musical life. As far as his predatory
Yeah.
pedophile, you know.
Yeah, didn't he marry his 12-year-old cousin or something?
Something like
Yeah,
that.
Myra.
13, man. She was 13, all right?
Oh, that's different.
But High School Confidential was great, and pretty much everything Jerry Lee ever put out, I really, really liked. But yeah, his private life was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam's begging for my attention over here.
Mhm.
So let's just go with Teenager in Love instead.
Okay, right on.
But I had that as an honorable mention for yeah, we'll go with that. But
Okay.
damn it, Dustin, I had this whole thing I was gonna talk about the movie and
Oh, you can still talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because that was like one of my favorite movies when I was young, and like shaped me into like I would say before any of you guys met me, even Dustin, I was kind of like in that like rockabilly subculture for a minute. And I had the Betty Bangs, and I was super into like the pinup thing. And there was that scene during Whole Lot of Shaken where the girl like is like
Doing the shimmy.
this, and she like gets real close to the ground. And I don't know why, but that part of that movie just always like stuck to me. And I feel like that was like what got me into 50s style music, and what got me into that era of like rockabilly. And I don't know, that Great Balls of Fire with Dennis Quaid and Winona Ryder really did a lot for like my musical upbringing. And so that was why I was going to pick that song as my number one. But just like the song itself really isn't all that great, but sentimental.
Bullshit.
No, I mean, it is. It is, but sentimentally, it has a lot more value than anything.
Right on. All right, Dustin, what'd you have for number one?
Well, number one for me is one of the two people that I feel is solely responsible, like what starts off what was rock and roll. Little Richard being the other, and this guy being the equal, but as the guitar player part of it, Chuck Berry with Johnny Be Good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew some people would have Chuck Berry on their list.
You have to.
Yeah.
Elvis, Little Richard, Chuck Berry. If you're talking 50s, Jerry Lee, how you not going to bring them up?
Yeah, for sure. All right, Trax, what'd you have for number one?
All right, you probably know my number one, Aaron.
Yeah, I know.
The Big Bopper, Chantilly Lace.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Good.
I figured you would have had some Richie Valens too, because his deep stuff was like pretty rock and roll, man.
I got him in honorable mention, but Big Bopper is my favorite.
Yeah. All right, my number one. I've actually talked about this artist on a few shows before. I'm a huge fan. Fats Domino.
Which one?
I want to take you home.
Okay.
I want to walk you home. I mean, reached number one on R&B charts, number 8 on the Billboard charts in 1959. Love me, love me, love me some Fats Domino, man.
I knew you'd have to have Fats Domino on your list.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so good. But say that, you know, it's like most of my top 5 are black piano players. That's, to me, that's where, you know, rock and roll started, man.
100% agree.
All right, Rosie, have any honorable mentions?
I think the only one I didn't say that I had on my list was Shaboom Shaboom.
Okay.
There was a million things I wanted to write down, and I had to like stop myself because generally in my car all I listen to is like 50s playlists. So it was really hard for me to decide on what to actually write down, and I didn't want to go too deep that you guys would be like, the fuck is she talking about?
Aaron would probably know it.
Yeah, I'd probably know it. See, because I didn't know what route to take. I was going to, because there's so many good, like, pop stuff from the 50s, man, you know, like, yeah. And I decided to go more the rock and roll route. But yeah, there's so many good songs from the 50s.
Yeah, I absolutely love 1950s music. And if I'm driving my car, whether it's a 5-minute ride or a 10-minute or 10-hour drive, chances are I'm listening to like a 50 station or a 50s like playlist. So there was a million things that I wanted to put down, but I didn't because I didn't want it to be too like off the wall. So I just made it kind of like
You can
user
go
friendly.
as deep as you want in this show. You know that.
I know, but I just picked some kind of easy peasies.
Yeah, we all kind of went mainstream on it, but
That's what it was known for.
yeah,
dude.
that's where that's where it all started, man.
Yeah. No,
All
I
right,
like easy.
all right, Dustin, you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got a few. There's a particular song that I've always known of, always known the name of it. But when I was putting this list together the other day, I get it now. This song was huge in the 50s, and I didn't realize how huge it was. Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like, yeah, I did not know that song was that as huge as it
It's
fucking
huge.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
So-
top 10, I'd say, like on like most lists.
You're not wrong. So I got a couple Fats Domino honorable mentions. Obviously Blueberry Hill.
yeah,
And the one that I always know of Fats and always loved from the Blues Brothers movie, I'm Walking.
yeah.
So I love that one.
That's a good one.
I had Good Golly Miss Molly, but I knew somebody was going to bring up Little Richard. I mean,
Yeah,
they said it.
yeah. You have to.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I said I was so back to the Mac the Knife song, man. I didn't realize that was the fucking heat seeker that it was.
Bobby Darin had some jams though.
Hmm. Yeah, his name was on some other songs, but like I said, I've always known the Mac the Knife of that song, and I've obviously heard it. But I was like, shit, this was huge.
Didn't he also do Split Splash?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another huge hit. All
Yeah.
right, Trex, you have some honorable mentions?
All right. Well, since you mentioned I should have had Richie Valens on my list, I'm going to go the ballot, O'Donna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I picked Chuck Berry, Johnny Be Good. Say that right off the bat.
That was
Yeah.
my number one.
Oh yeah. Eddie Cochran, Summertime Blues, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I like the original version better than the Elvis version. Carl Perkins, Blue Suede Shoes.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Elvis Presley, Teddy Bear.
See, I didn't do any Elvis because we did an Elvis show, but yeah, there have
That's
been a lot
why
of
I didn't
Elvis
put
on
any
here.
on my top 5.
Yeah,
Same.
Yeah, and that's another complete given, you know.
yeah.
The Coasters, Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back.
Hell yeah.
I heard that from the movie Great Outdoors. And my final one, the Everly Brothers, Wake Up Little Susie.
Fucker. Yeah, that was one of my honorable mentions.
I love that song.
Yeah,
Wake up,
that is.
little Susie, wake up.
Yeah, I actually was going to have a couple of theirs on there. Bye Bye Love is another good one.
Yeah.
And I actually had this was my original number 4, but Buddy Holly, Old Boy.
Yep, that was the other one I was
1958.
choosing from.
Yeah,
I had to make a choice.
you like Buddy Holly, Rosie? Because
I love Buddy Holly.
yeah, he said some good rockabilly stuff.
I figured that you guys would all have Buddy Holly, so I
Yeah.
straight.
Another
He-
movie.
Yeah, can't go wrong with his stuff.
Love Buddy Holly.
Yeah. Anything else?
How about
what-
this had to have been from the 50s. The Bill Haley song, the Rock Around the
I
Clock.
was about to say that. Bill
Yeah.
Haley in the comments.
Yeah.
Rock Around the
Yeah.
Clock. The Happy Days song.
You see, I didn't want to go the country route either, so I didn't do any like George Jones or Hank Williams, just because
Williams,
we've already went
yeah.
that route.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash. We already went country, so
Yeah.
Anything else, Rosie?
No, I think Who Wrote the Book of Love was the 1950s, but I could be wrong.
See, I would have to hear it.
Who Wrote the Book of Love?
Oh,
I
yeah,
know the
okay,
song. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds very 50s. Yeah,
yeah.
We're
There's like,
doing a 60s one later.
see, 'cause that's what my mom listened to, a lot of the 70s stuff. So like Sea Cruise or 50s, I mean like Sea Cruise and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Frankie
That was in your mom's
Ford.
song the other day.
Yeah, like all that.
Be in love.
Yeah. Anything else?
And that's all I can
Dustin?
think of.
Yeah, that's all I really wrote down, man. Like I said, I kind of went deep with the, for the Screaming Jay Hawk. And to be honest, I thought that song was from the 60s,
Yeah.
the Screaming Jay Hawkins. And when I was like, damn, it's okay.
Well, see, when I was doing my list, I was going to, I would have had like Georgia on my mind, but that was 60s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
some
so when I was
songs
going
are
through, the
different.
artists might have came on the 50s, but they did stuff later, so I had to make sure the
Right.
dates were,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I did because I didn't know if it was 50s. Because early 60s sound like the 50s.
But yeah, I
Mhm.
was going to have to Screaming Jay Hawkins because I like a lot of his stuff. Walking Through the Graveyard and all kinds.
Yeah.
He's good shit, man.
Yeah.
And the song from Tom and Jerry, "Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby." That's the shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. He sung that in school.
Oh
Crazy
yeah,
to think that like someone that dude was that different and unique
I
because
know.
everyone else, it was all different, unique, but that
He's
was
He's like
Yeah,
one
for
of
the
the original
50s?
shock
the
rockers.
universe, man. Yeah.
Like one of the original shock rockers
Yeah,
before
yeah,
it was a thing.
he was awesome. All right,
And
anything
from
else?
Cleveland.
Yeah, he is from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's not a serial killer?
Who?
And he's not a serial killer?
From Cleveland?
I mean, everybody from Cleveland is a killer.
He might have been. He sang about the
Might
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Since it's Halloween, I was going to mention one, but I don't know if it came out in the 50s or 60s. The Monster Mash.
Great song. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure which
Oh.
I'm
it
not
was.
sure if it was 50s
I
or
don't know when that came out.
Yeah. Was it Flying Purple People Eater? Wasn't that 50s?
I
I
don't know.
can't remember if that's 50s or 60s.
I
See,
think that's
some of the
50s.
music you get confused on the era because it sounds similar.
It's like I almost said Peter Eater. All right, anything else?
That's all I could think of.
Rosie, Dustin, is that it?
That's all I got, man.
All right, 5 and out.
All right, 5 and out.